Hello guys, I am Ashok Madhuri from Mission IAS. Today I am going to welcoming to all of you on the basis of this lecture, and this lecture is completely based on the basis of Indian economy. In Indian economy today I will going to discuss before you on the basis of money, because in the last lecture I all discussed about the banking system in India. Regarding banking system, some points has been going to be discussed, which was something has been remained even today. And from today I will discuss each and every point concerning the Indian economy on the basis of each and every part will be in English version. We can't discuss in the Hindi and other languages because being a student, because this lecture is completely devoted to those students who are preparing for UPSC examination. For those students who wants English language and English version communication, this communication can be derived for you on the basis of different lecture concerning Indian economy by me. Okay, so this lecture is going to start on the basis of money. My dear guys, first we have to know about what do you mean by money. Money is a, first we have to know, as per the Indian constitution, as per the Indian government act, which has been the recommendations and regulation which have been passed by our government concerning to the money. Now money is also bill. In that cases, if I am talking about the Indian constitution, it will be discussed on the basis of article 110. Okay, but now as per the Reserve Bank of India, the interpretations of the money today I will discuss. Okay, the money in the financial market, if I am talking about even today, in the prior of the money, when it was developed, before the worth of money, it was not in the interpretation of consideration, because in that period it came after the sources of barter law. Because if I'm talking about the barter law in the ancient period, in that period, imagine if a ram has wheat, you can say flour, or Sam has paddy, any rice, and both have one each other's goods or services need. Like Sam needs flour and Ram needs rice. What they can do? That they can exchange their goods, and by exchanging their goods, they can manage their requirement. Okay, like that. Imagine I have an apple, you have mango, and now I want to take apple because I wish to eat. Okay, and you want and you wish to eat apple and I eat mango. So what we can do? We will compromise our requirement concerning to exchanging. I will provide you apple, you will provide me money. Mango. Okay. On that collaboration, we can sacrifice our requirement and necessities. What now it has been occurred. Okay. So this is the interpart of the called barter law. In the barter law, people what needs and what the other people have. Okay, both can exchange as per their requirement, and this is the new and modern part after the using and utilizations of different concept, after giving the material things like that. If I'm talking about the Kushan period, if I'm talking about the Mauryakalin period, okay, in that period, after the period and the demand of the era, it has been completely changed other by other, okay, point by point, and it has been renamed by others, and it is finally renamed as money. You must know about that. This is the history of Indian currency symbol, because Indian currency symbol has recognized in the world. After 4 currency of the world, India got 5th position. Like that, if I'm talking about the symbol of rupee, Indian rupee we can say, came into use on 15th July 2010 in India. Okay, and finally we can say India is the 5th economy after America and USA, Britain, Japan, European Union. India got 5th position, having the symbol of its currency. Okay, it was completely part of a unique verifications of the symbolic of the currency of money in India. It has been given by Mr. D. Kumar. Mr. D. Uday Kumar. He was an engineer of IIT Mumbai. Okay. And what was the finally, and just if I'm talking about the what is the requirement and the recommendation which has been given by cabinet of our country. Okay. So first, IIT Mumbai, Mr. D. Uday Kumar has given the symbol of Indian currency. Okay. And finally, it was selected by the Union of the Cabinet on 15th July 2010, and it has been completely approved and implemented as per the rules and accepted as per the global form and symbol of the currency, value currency symbol. Okay. And the new symbol is an amalgamation of Devanagari. Devanagari is our script. Okay. Devanagari script Ra and the Roman R. Okay. Without the stem. This is the part of Indian currency. It has been we can say got the recognitions after the fourth. Just I made you understand. Fourth, what is that? First one is America and USA, Britain and Pound, Euro and European nations, and Japan. Okay. India got fifth position in this field. Okay. If I'm talking about the money, so money, it is also called fiat money. So fiat money, it is derived, it's we can value by long declared by the government to be a legal tender. It means to say the form of money, it has been accepted and regulated the concept by our government, and it is the part of contribution, it is a part of exchange in our market. It means to say financial market provides channel for the allocation of savings, okay, and to investment. Saving to the investment, in this criteria, what will be exchanged and what will be invested, this is a form of money. Is it okay? And the financial market, therefore we can say, this also contributes to the economic development to the extent the latter depends on the rates of saving investment. This is the part of legal and fiat money and legal tender also. If I'm talking about like that, one example will be derived for you, that it must be accepted as a form of payments, okay, within the boundaries of the country. Because if I'm talking about the Indian currency as a rupee, okay, the rupee is completely valid in our country. If I'm talking about the international market, on the basis of international market, we have to go through the international trade and business which has been completely controlled and regulated by WTO, World Trade Organization. Okay, in that criteria, world's business can be done on the basis of dollar. Okay, so this is the fully part of the boundaries of the country. All debts, public and private, different types of infrastructure when it will be needed, and infrastructure can be developed, we have to need. Okay, like that, if I'm talking about that, like the money supply of a country, okay, consists of currency, like I'm talking about banknotes and coins, and it is completely approved by Reserve Bank of that particular nation. It means to say in India, these types of controlling power and these types of issuing, minting the price of the notes and currency, it is completely given to the Reserve Bank of India. And this type of authority, on the base of this authority, Reserve Bank of India coin, mint the coin and print and issue the currency in our country. And this is a completely part of financial sector. It is a part of business and trade mark. Okay, it means to say bank money. In the bank money, which consists only of the records, okay, like mostly we can say mostly computerized in the modern banking sector, like core banking sector, so we can say, okay, and forms by far largest part of the money supply in the developed nations. It means to say this is a part by which we can buy and purchase or sell goods and services, different types of services, different types of things what we require in our basic or non-basic needs. Okay, in every surroundings of our activities of the working process of the activity, it means to say like this is part of the trade, this is a part of finance, this is a part of establishing of something. Each and every criteria, we have to go through the resources, we have to go through the channelizations of the currency and the money. Is it okay? On that criteria, if I'm talking, in this criteria, our Reserve Bank of India has given the criteria of the money sector in 4 parts. Yani there are 4 kinds of money in our country. Okay. And money supply is a stock of liquid assets, mean to say held by the public first, okay, which can be freely exchanged for goods and services in our country. And it is completely done under the leadership and the looking after by the Reserve Bank of India. Because Reserve Bank of India calculates 4 concepts of money supply in India. These are, first we have to know, these are known as the measures of monetary aggregates or money stock measures. It means to say the working group under the chairmanship of Dr. Y.B. Reddy. Okay, Y.B. Reddy, then Deputy Governor of Reserve Bank and former Governor of Reserve Bank of India also. Okay, has suggested 4 new monetary policy and 4 new monetary measures in our country. And there are 4 measures of Indian currency, by that M0, M1, M2 and M3. There are 4 measurement of Indian money in our country. If I'm talking about on the basis of liquidity, because it is also form of the money and the liquidity. So after the recommendations, and it has also suggested for new monetary policy and 4 new monetary measures, and since that 3 liquidity measures L1, L2 and 3. Besides, all the groups also recommended the publishing of the financial sector survey, the monetary aggregates, every 3 months. It means to say what is the buffer and stock and reserves of our currency of the paid up capital. This must be measured in 3 months, during 3 months. This is a quarterly 3 or 3. It means there are the 4 3 quarters of the year. This is the part of the financial measurement of our country on the basis of financial sectors. If I am talking about what do you mean by M0? Yani there are 4 kinds of measurement of money: M0, M1, M2 and M3. What do you mean by M0? M0 mean to say M0 is equal to, we can say, currency in circulation in the market. Okay, what is, how much money is circulating in our market? This is also under considered to be 0. Okay, and bankers deposit with Reserve Bank of India, because we know all banks have their own banks accounts in Reserve Bank of India. So what they deposit in the Reserve Bank of India in their accounts? Okay, and other deposits with RBI. So this is the part. Try to understand. Money circulation, currency circulation in the market, bankers deposits with RBI and other kinds of other deposits with RBI. This is a part of M0. M1 mean to say, if I'm talking about M1 mean to say currency with the public. First, currency with the public, like I have, you have, and all 130 crore of the population have. So first we have to do currency with the public, demand deposits with the banking system and other deposits with the Reserve Bank of India. This is a part of M1. If I am talking about M2, M2 mean to say M1 plus, M1 mean 3 criteria I made in the student. Okay, M1 plus saving deposits of post office saving accounts, saving banks. If I am talking about M3 mean to say, first we have to M1 plus time deposits with banking system, and in the final conclusion can be calculated as per the forms of the money currency, like M4. The M4 mean to say M3 plus office savings of banks. And whenever we are going through the ascending, or what is the parameter of the largest worth of the money, mean to say M0 is greater than M1 is greater than M2 is greater than M3. Mean to say the largest worthing point of money measurement is M0, because the decreasing order of the liquidity, these monetary aggregates on the basis of M0 is greater than M1 is greater than M2 is greater than M3. Is it okay? Yani anyhow we have to measure M0 is the largest position on the basis of worthing of money measurement. And if I'm talking about the demand deposits are those deposits payable by the banks on demand by a customer, like current and saving accounts. In that criteria, what they deposited at the time of need, whenever people are seeming to be insecure, in that criteria they can also deposit to the bank. But when he or she needs and require to use that fund what they have deposited in the bank, in the need of that criteria, in the middle sections of the time, people can also withdraw from the banks to do the different types of activities, either basic or non-basic. Yeah, different types of luxurious work can be also done. So these types of requirement can be fulfilled as per the financial stability. So financial stability is a part which has been grown up on the basis of money and banking, because both are mutually related each other. And this is also a stability of not only for the people of the economic stability, but also the country's economic stability. This is the part. Okay. In the next lecture, I will discuss about the liquidity and the assets of the Indian banking firms concerning the money forms. So you might have heard about how many kinds of money. In this section I have discussed, and what is the symbol of Indian money, okay, Indian currency, and after how many countries it got its recognition. Actually completely I have discussed in this videos. Okay, so with this I thank you all. Best of luck. Thanks a lot. Okay.